The entire thing in Amman, Jordan, and it was a pretty extraordinary place to shoot. Some of our locations were about 5 kilometers from the Iraqi border, and we're very close. And very enthusiastic place, great place to shoot. Hot, about 125 degrees. And Jeremy was wearing a bomb suit, a real bomb suit, bedding bomb suit that weighed 80 pounds in that heat. And so it's a miracle that he's still here. And I don't really know how to address the other question. I mean, perhaps because, I don't know, this is a, very emotional, conflict that we're engaged in. And I think there are a lot of filmmakers commenting on it. And, we feel like it's sort of an obligation, though I do have to, familiar phrase, war is hell, and, that's a phrase worth repeating. So, anybody else?
Yes.
Thank you.
Speak to your process in terms of your staging, your rehearsal, and how you design your camera. It seems so organic, and it's in the moment intense the entire time. You could share some.
So she's a big fan of Catherine's. So we'll follow up on the process. If she could talk about the staging and the rehearsal, it seems so organic, and she could comment on that.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. This project is, its origin is with Mark Bull, who is on an embed with an EOD unit in Baghdad. And so he came back with, obviously, first-hand observation and so much information. And our interest was to make it as authentic as possible. So the actors gratefully went through extraordinary training at 2 different military bases in the United States, and then additional training in the Middle East. So it was really a matter of recreating these sets and recreating actually the situations that were detailed in the script. And, if you have to create a 300-meter perimeter and disarm a bomb in that environment, then you're actually doing it. And I had 4 discrete camera units that were working simultaneously throughout the set. And we would just stage the entire sequence. We wouldn't break it down. We would, disarm that bomb from kind of beginning to end with these 4 units, and I think maybe they could speak to where the cameras were.
They never knew where the cameras were. That's why they're
That's my point. They used to call them ninja cameras because they realized that there wasn't sort of a moment when they had to perform for a particular shot. It was kind of always on. There was never an off switch. So that was...
Yes, sir. What does the title refer to?
That's a term the soldiers use sometimes, I guess, that means a place of a very painful place of ultimate pain. So to use it in a sentence would be, if this bomb goes off, we're all going to be in the hurt locker.
Yes, sir.
Catherine, this terrific film, as great as your terribly underappreciated screen today. How did you get involved with this? Why did you want to make this film?
So how did Catherine get involved? Why did she want to make this film? It was as wonderful as her underappreciated Strange Days.
Thank you very, very much.
I have to get all those compliments in.
I have to say that it was... I was very fortunate to know Mark Bull, and when he came back from his embed, to be the recipient of these extraordinary stories, and the opportunity to work on something so topical and so relevant was pretty much, I think, just an extraordinary opportunity. And so I felt really honored to be able to handle it and try to give an audience as experiential a you are there, boots on the ground look at this conflict. So.
Yes, in the balcony.
The actors speak a little bit about what the experience is like in terms of
Yeah, good luck. All right. Could the actors speak to their experience working on the film? And we're not going to let them off this time.
Yeah, it was hot. We know that much. No, it was a great experience. We were lucky that we all got along, and that was really important. It was hell. I'm so happy to have been able to be a part of this, and I can wait to really ever do it again. I mean, it took a lot. I think it took a lot out of us. It took a lot of us to come together to get through all the adversity, from even just getting the film made to the actual shooting of it. So, yeah, I mean, I just feel very blessed to be a part of it.
The same thing what they said. It was a great process, going to the Middle East and learning truly. I mean, because we got there at the beginning of Ramadan. So transitioning to that culture and really seeing them for truly who they were, and not what the news told us the people in the Middle East were. It was a great experience, and it really fueled the characters and the stories that we were trying to tell.
In the corner, yes.
Yeah, they say that enlistment goes up even after anti-war movies. I wonder if you're concerned that by making such a visceral, adrenaline-filled movie like this, that you might actually be, if war's a drug, that makes you a pusher.
So the question is that they say, I'm not sure that they are, but that enlistments go up even after anti-war movies are shown. And if war is a drug, does that make them a pusher?
So you're saying we're pushers, okay.
There was more to the question than that, sir.
I'm sorry?
I heard him say, by creating a film that creates such a visceral experience, or is there any concern that people will actually want to enlist in order to experience that kind of adrenaline? That's what I heard in there.
Well, I think it's an interesting question, and I think it's a question that you can probably pose to any powerful work, whether it's a film or a book. I mean, I'm reminded of how J.D. Salinger inspired the guy who shot John Lennon, and so it certainly wasn't our intention to do that, and I think. I mean, you'd have to sort of be missing a brain cell if you saw this movie and said, wow, that looks like something I want to do. But, you know, it's a Rorschach test, and who knows?
And I didn't intentionally leave that out. It was just a long question. Sorry. There's hands down here. Yes, sir.
Just wondering how open the Jordanian government was to work with you on making the movie about the current war.
So how open and receptive was the Jordanian government to them filming?
They were extremely open and receptive, and in fact they have a burgeoning film commission of whom we created a kind of trainee program within every department. So from the university we would get the film students, and they came out of the shoot all with an opportunity to go into another production. So it was kind of an incredibly fortuitous alliance, I think, on both sides.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you were told many additional incidents, episodes that could have been part of the story. I'm wondering, were additional episodes actually scripted, and were